Hello, everyone. If you are listening right now at this very moment, then you are in the Commuter Spot, and I'm your host, D Commuter. So today we are going to discuss types of trucking jobs. So if you're looking to get into the trucking industry or you're already in the trucking industry, we can give you tips on other opportunities that might not require hauling freight. So if you are unfamiliar with drive away, that is one option of driving. You can do this with a CDL or without. I prefer the CDL because you actually get paid more when you have a CDL license. But with this type of delivering service, you are not actually hauling freight. You're hauling units. So the units are the trucks or the vehicles themselves. So we're going to get into that this show. We also wanted to share with you, if you like to be a part of our community of commuters, please join us at www.patreon.com/Commuter Spot. And there you'll find our upcoming shows, and you can weigh in, tell us what you like about what we're doing here on the Commuter Spot. And if you'd like to share any of your experiences, please, we welcome you to do that. Also, this programming is brought to you by Golden Way Transport Services Incorporated, offering freight dispatching and consulting services. For more information, please go to www.goldenwaytransport.co. Now, for this segment, drive away is what they call that. Drive away is a type of, I want to give the best description I can, which is, of course, not hauling freight, but you're driving a particular unit to its destination. So it's quite simple, but it can also be very complex. So stay tuned to hear more stories on the drive away. Take this brief break, and I'll get right back to you in a few moments. Thank you. Let's get into what drive away means. Drive away typically doesn't require hauling freight. It simply is driving certain units, and the units are the vehicles themselves, whether they're trucks, they could be cars, CDL trucks, Class A, Class B, they could be buses, they could be charter buses, school buses, a variety of different types of vehicles. They could be bucket trucks, it could be other utility vehicles. So there's a wide variety of types of vehicles that can be delivered as a drive-away service, and there are a lot of companies looking for subcontractors to deliver these units to people's homes, companies, businesses throughout the US and Canada. So I'm going to share this with you because this is another experience of mine. I too have been in the drive-away industry, and I found it to be you need to have resources when you're driving, you're in the drive-away industry, because as a truck driver, you're accustomed to being in that one vehicle and that you have that vehicle to get to and from. Drive-away, on the other hand, once you have delivered a unit, which is the vehicle, to the shipper, then you're done. So now you're out of that vehicle, and now you're required to get around from point A to B on your own. Now, some companies might provide certain transportation options, such as rental cars. They may even get you flight tickets, but the majority of the companies, you are responsible for your transportation fees yourself. So these are out-of-pocket costs. So the biggest thing when you are working for companies or subcontracting for companies as a drive-away driver, you want to have access to resources that will, enable you to get places for less. So you don't want to spend all the money that you made just trying to cover your travel expenses. So for some people, this is quite daunting because, again, if you're a truck driver, you're accustomed to being in that truck. So you're not having to find flights or catch a Greyhound or Amtrak or rent cars frequently. You're just basically tied to that vehicle, whether it's your own or owned by someone else. So in drive-away, it's a completely different thing. So if you're one that likes to just get off the unit and do some other traveling, which will allow you to see a lot more of what's out there in the world, but then that might not be suitable for your lifestyle. So, and maybe perhaps you're used to making a certain amount, so you could, there could be some limitations there. But their drive-away drivers could definitely make good money as well. It's just all about the efforts you put into it and how efficient you operate your business. So you can do it as a sole proprietor, or you can do it as your business because it is subcontract work. So you have to be the one to manage your time and your money well, and you can make that work. So I know a lot of times people don't really know the opportunities that are out there. So I won't say any names of companies, but there are many. So all you have to do is, pop in that Google search or DuckDuckGo, whichever platform you prefer to use, and you search drive-away companies in your area. And even if they're outside of your area, they're always hiring. And then you can, look into getting into that. But let me just explain to you my experience in drive-away. There were a lot of great moments, and there's up and down in everything that we do, because as in trucking, we have to have that patience because we're at shippers and receivers getting loaded and unloaded. And sometimes this can be an all-day event. And a lot of times, and that's what kind of led me over to trying out drive-away, because of just how much time consuming waiting on freight can be. So, I like to dip into things to get the experience. So I'm bringing to you real life experiences. So drive-away is great if you like to, like I said, get in and out. So you want to deliver a unit. Let's say you're going to Ohio. And perhaps you can have as many of these contracts as you like. So if you like to, subcontract for one particular company that will get you out of your area, and then you want a particular company that you can get work to get, work your way back to your particular area, meaning wherever you live or wherever you want to go, because a lot of times one company might not be able to get you that back haul. So we're used to back hauls with the tractor trailer because we can easily put that load together because that truck and trailer is staying with you at all times. So it's easier to get a load coming back basically from anywhere, with patience, of course, because a lot of times that could also take some time. But if the planning is there properly, again, if you need any dispatching and consulting, please don't hesitate to visit our website at www.goldenwaytransport.co, and we have a team of professionals that will gladly help dispatch you in your trucks and get you to and from where you need to go. But based off the experience in Drive-Away, you actually have to put together and decide what is close enough for you to, the transportation method that you're going to use to get you to that next unit. So if you're in, say, Columbus, Ohio, how far would it take you to get to, let's say, Springfield, Ohio, to pick up a unit and take it back to wherever you're looking to go? So if another company offers trips from units from Springfield to where you're going, or somewhere else near that Ohio area, Cincinnati, or you want to get as close as possible, just as you would if you were getting freight, and when you're hauling freight in a tractor trailer. So it's the same concept, but you don't want to put yourself too far away from the next place. Just as if you were deadheading, you can kind of consider that as like a deadhead in Drive-Away, but you're just not inside of a unit. So your deadhead time is spent either on a Greyhound or on a plane or in a rental car. So you can consider that as like deadhead time. It's dead time between getting to that next pickup. So with Drive-Away, you're needing to, these are out-of-pocket costs on yourself. So you have to decide what the easiest method would be, or which route you can take that will cost you less. So the idea is spending less to make more, right? So the more expenses, then the less you make. Okay, so you want to definitely plan that out. So trip planning is very important in Drive-Away, just as it is if you are hauling freight in a tractor trailer. Trip planning is very, very important, because once you plan that out, you know what the expenses are going to run you. You get that estimate, so you know that if you're making $800 on that run, that took, maybe it was 800 miles or nearly 800 miles, and you were making $800, well, you're also responsible for the fuel. So you'd have to think, okay, are you driving something diesel or gasoline? Because there are lots of options. It could be natural gas, it could be propane, it could be diesel, or just standard gasoline. So there are a lot of different alternatives. So you have to weigh all these options out to see which one you would make the best, or the most money. So for me, if I was to move any Drive-Away units, I would prefer diesel. But now even some of the gasoline options save you money and time as well. So that's what it's all about. So you want to get the most bang for your buck, right? So for me, if I was in a situation and I had an 800-mile trip that was paying a little over $800, let's say $900, the trip was paying you, but again, you're responsible for the fuel. So they're including the surcharge for the fuel in that money that they're offering you to move that particular unit. So this 800-mile trip that they're paying $900 or $1,000 for, you now have to think how much, if your vehicle is diesel, how much would that cost you out of that $900 to get to that destination mile. So let's just say, it took you $250. So now you minus that, from the money that they were paying you initially, and then you get that would be your pay. Okay. So you have to think, okay, well, does that make sense? And sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, because here's where it could even get worse, is once you try to find yourself another load, and getting to that load costs you an Uber ride, because after you drop the unit, now you've got an Uber or Lyft to pick up the next ride or go to the bus station or what have you. So let's say you're spending another $50 to do that. You're spending another $50 for a bus ticket, or you're spending $150 for a flight. Just think about all the expenses. So now if you're doing that, now subtract that from what you made from that first trip, because you haven't even begun the second trip yet. So the second trip, could pay you the same or less. Now you just tell me, in the amount of time that you had to get this done, was it really worth it? So I know there's a lot to take in there, but it's fun discovering ways to always make money. So it's fun just being able to utilize certain apps or resources that can save you money. So if you're adventurous like that and you don't mind doing something different, and it could definitely make you good money, you just need to have great management skills. So that is another option in this trucking industry. Now, there are some very complex situations dealing with drive away when it comes to, let's say, scheduling. And so, as in trucking, you can either have a dispatcher that, if you're working for a company, that automatically dispatches you your loads, or you have someone that you hired if you own your own truck that dispatches your loads for you, but they would have to consult with you to ensure that that's something that you want to do. That's the advantage of owning your own truck. So in drive away, the advantage with the dispatching, it's not forced dispatch, so you can pretty much choose whether or not you want to take a particular unit. You don't have to take that particular unit because you are subcontracting. And if you're off work, and if you choose to be off work an amount of days, then you're not getting paid, but you have the flexibility of being off whenever you choose to be off. So that's a bonus. Again, pending you are good with time management and money management, then you can make your schedule work with, and make money all at the same time. So in the scheduling for drive away, dispatchers can tend to leave out a lot of very important information, and it's not always intentional, but they're expecting you as subcontractors to kind of fill in those gaps and know some of these things. So you could get in a lot of hiccups with drive away if you're not being aware of what the information that will be very important to you, that you would definitely need to deliver and make this a very efficient transfer of this unit. So in order to do that, you need to have great communication with your dispatcher, and sometimes that's not always easy to do either. So you want to have an idea when you're doing the drive away that you're not putting yourself out there, getting in situations that you can't really get out of, because there are some areas like we spoke of earlier in regards to trucking. We spoke about that in a previous show, where you really have to be careful about where you are, because there may not be phone coverage. Well, the same goes with drive away. There may not be transportation in that area. We think of, everything being so modern and everybody's updated on technology, and we offer all this, Uber and Lyft everywhere, but there's still some areas that may not have that, and if they do, it's seldom. So you have to consider all these things and see what these costs would be. So you don't want to get in places where it will cost you a fortune to get from point A to point B. And sometimes the dispatchers can leave out some certain information. The shipper might have requirements for you to call ahead 24 hours. Even if the paperwork says they're a 24-hour drop, you're thinking you can just drop it off at any time, 24/7. Well, if you read further, somewhere in small print, it might say, call them at least 24 hours ahead so they can tell you what to do when you're getting ready to drop for this 24-hour drop. So all you read was a 24-hour, they're open, you're good, and you get there and now you're clueless. You didn't get a gate code, or they didn't offer you the additional information because they were looking for you to phone them within 24 hours of dropping off. Now, and that is within working business hours. So let's just say you're doing this on the weekend. Now you've missed calling them ahead and you're there on the weekend. They're not open. You don't have all the information. The company that you're running under isn't working. So you're the only one working. And now you're there stuck with this unit throughout the weekend, possibly till that next weekday, which is Monday. And just because of the miscommunication between you and your dispatcher. So having communication with the dispatcher is very important. So when I speak of these things, these are all experiences that I have encountered. And I tell you, it's not a great feeling. It's not a great feeling to get somewhere and not be able to drop a unit on a certain day that you anticipated, because you also have other work set up and you have it set up in a way where it flows. Now the flow is out of whack. Nothing's flowing now. Everything is is not aligned. So and sometimes that could mean cancellations on the other end, and it's like a domino effect. So you definitely want to keep things in order. So please consider that when you're taking on loads with dispatchers, whether you're doing it with a tractor trailer, your own truck. You want to make sure that you're communicating with the dispatchers on a regular, that you understand fully what the shippers are requesting of you prior to you making these pickups or drops. Either, if you're doing it with drive away or if you're doing it with your truck. So be very aware and communicate. Communication is very important, and that's why we're bringing to you this broadcast. We want it to be a fun place to just get informed, enlightened and connected with people in your industry, with like minds, and who are doing the things that you're doing, experiencing some of the things that you may experience or you want to know before you experience them. So this is the place to be, and we hope that you continue to tune in with us for future shows, and just know that you're very important. You're my road heroes. And we are really looking forward to bringing you a lot of good information and experiences. So please share with us anything you'd like to hear from us. If you'd like to weigh in on some of the topics, share with us some of your experiences. Don't forget to reach out to us and join our community of commuters. We'd love to have you, and be safe out there on the road. Until next time, 10-4.